I've decided. No more pretending. God doesn't exist. The Bible is just a collection of stories, nothing more, nothing less. I've spent too much time living in fear of some invisible being. Today marks the beginning of my freedom. I've tossed my Bible into the attic, out of sight, out of mind, right? I feel a strange sense of liberation, like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. But there's a small, nagging voice in the back of my mind, whispering doubts. I ignore it, pushing forward into what I hope will be a new chapter of my life. The other day I went to the park, needed to clear my head, to bask in the simplicity of nature. I found a quiet bench and sat down, minding my own business. As I watched the leaves dance in the breeze, a street preacher appeared, seemingly out of nowhere. He started reciting verses from the Bible with fervor and conviction. My heart pounded with every word, and I felt a tightening in my chest. I quickly walked away, but the feeling lingered, like an echo that wouldn't fade. Why can't I shake this off? I can't read thoughts, but it seems others are not even bothered by it a bit. Even though I've concluded that God doesn't exist, deep down there's this conviction that He is there, and I'm just trying to bury it for the sake of living as I want. Once I came across an old family photo. We were at church, all smiles and dressed in our Sunday best. I felt a pang of nostalgia, a longing for the simplicity and warmth of those days. Almost reached for my Bible, almost. I told myself that I was only a kid who can't think critically at the time the photo was taken. So am I being clever and wise now that I've decided the Bible is not to be taken seriously? But why does the past feel so comforting? Why does it call to me with such a gentle, persistent voice? I had a long conversation with an old friend. He's a devout Christian, always has been. Tried to steer clear of the topic, but he brought it up, told me he's praying for me. I felt a mix of anger and sadness. Why can't people just let me be? Yet deep down there's a small part of me that's grateful. Confusing. His words lingered long after the conversation ended, stirring emotions I thought I had buried. In my search for freedom and fulfillment, I threw myself into a wild lifestyle. Parties, drinking and sleeping with women like there was no tomorrow. At first it felt exhilarating, like I was finally living life on my own terms. But every morning after a night out, the shame and regret were relentless. The thrill of the night faded into the harsh reality of morning, and I was left to face the consequences of my actions. I wanted to believe that I was free, that I was living the life I wanted, but deep down, I knew I was running away from the truth like the prophet Jonah did, from the inner conflict that refused to be silenced. There was a hollow emptiness that no amount of fun or pleasure could fill. It was like chasing a high that always left me crashing down harder each time. Guilt gnawed at me, whispering that this wasn't the way to true happiness. Can this feeling of emptiness be proof that God exists? It's a question that haunts me. Why does the void persist, despite all my efforts to fill it? Maybe it's an indication of a deeper spiritual longing, a sign that there's something greater out there, something beyond this material world. Or perhaps it's just a part of the human condition, a universal experience that everyone faces regardless of their beliefs. I tried to remind myself that it's possible to live a meaningful life without believing in a God. Many people find purpose and fulfillment through relationships, personal growth, and contributing to the well-being of others. They create their own sense of meaning through their actions and experiences. Maybe that's the path I need to follow, embracing the freedom to define my own values and purpose. Perhaps in doing so I can find peace and satisfaction, filling the emptiness with a life well lived on my own terms. Well, this doesn't help as well, at least in my case. It felt like what the Apostle Paul said one time in Athens. He made from one blood every nation of men to dwell on all the surface of the earth, having determined appointed seasons and the boundaries of their dwellings, that they should seek the Lord, if perhaps they might reach out for him and find him, though he is not far from each one of us, was directed to me. Should I return and submit to Jesus? You see, that's what I'm saying even now. I'm remembering one scenario from the Bible where the prophet Jonah tried to run but inevitably comes back to his calling after a life-threatening incident. I feel like God is talking to me through his revealed words in the Bible. It is exactly as the psalmist sang in Psalm 139, verses 6 to 12.
Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too lofty for me to attain. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me. Your right hand will hold me fast. If I say, surely the darkness will hide me, and the light become night around me, even the darkness will not be dark to you. The night will shine like the day, for darkness is as light to you.